Hello and welcome back to Officina Virtuale. Today we're going to be continuing our beginner series and let's talk about shaft. Clicking on mechanical design and part design, we've got our first part and let's click on OK. We can select our YZ plane, for example, and let's click on sketch and let's sketch a circle. Exit workbench, and now let's click on shaft. The most important options that we need to fix is the selection of our axis. With right click we can change the different axes. We can select Z axis, for example, and this is what we've got. We can select the Y axis and let's click on preview, and this is what we've got. We've got a rotation and this is our axis, and of course we cannot obtain a rotation using the X-axis as our axis. X-axis, let's click on preview. As you can see here, we can revolute or this profile, we can obtain this profile. Let's click on OK. So let's select the Z profile and let's click on OK and let's click on preview. Now we can change to different angles that we've got here. We can decrease our first angle. For example, we can say 300, and this is what we've got. And we can increase our second angle. Let's click, for example, 10 degrees, and let's click on preview, and we can add material. This is the idea, and let's click on OK. With double click, or as always, we can select our shaft in our specification tree, and as you can see, we've got even this axis activated. This is something different and we've got when we are using our shaft options. Okay, so with double click we can change the thickness of our profile. Let's click on thick. As you can see, we've got two different directions. This is our first options, and we can increase in this way, and we can increase and we can add material increasing and radius, and let's click on OK. And this is the thickness options. Now let's select our YZ plane and let's click on sketch, and let's sketch a different profile. For example, we can sketch a rectangle like this, and now we can add an axis. For example, this could be our axis, and let's exit workbench. Now if I click on shaft, automatically our Catia knows that we've got an axis, and our revolution will be happen around this particular axis. Let's click on preview, and this is what we've got. Of course, we've got the same 306, and we can say 0 degree, and let's click on preview and OK. This is the most important option. Normally we will sketch our axis. For example, we've got a 2D sketch with an axis, so symmetry and so on, and we will use this axis as our rotation option. Now let's select our ZY plane and let's sketch on this plane. On this plane, let's sketch, for example, we can sketch an hexagon. This could be our hexagon, and let's exit workbench. Clicking on shaft, we've got different options. For example, with right click we can create a line, and this line will be our axis. Let's click on create line, and as you can see here, we've got two different type of line. We've got line point to point and so on. We've got different line. We will see this different option in our next tutorial. But today we're going to introduce the options point. We can select our point. For example, I can select the origin of our axis. I should say with right click, create point, and let's click on OK, and we've got our first point. Now we can click on our second point and create our second point. For example, in the X-axis, I should say 200, and let's click on preview. And let's click on OK. Now we've got automatically this line. Clearly, I can't obtain our figure, our profile, because this is the same axis of our sketch. So I need to change the second point. Let's click on Edit Point, and instead of 200, we can say our y coordinates should be 200. And let's click on preview. Preview and okay, this is our line. Now, clicking on OK, we can obtain our figure. Preview, and this is our shaft. Using this line, we have created line to obtain our axis, and this is the idea, okay? As you can see, we've got different options. We can create line in different way, but the idea, when we want a shaft, we need to have a line or an axis, and to obtain this rotation, to obtain this profile. Okay. Cancel and OK. Let's select our Z Y plane and let's click on shaft. Sketch, pardon. Let's select, for example, an hexagon like this, and let's click on exit workbench. Clicking on shaft, we can select as axis even different line. For example, I can use this as our axis. Clicking on this, this is what we've got. Preview. And let's click on OK. So we've got different options. We've got our Z, Y, and X axis. We've got different axes selected. We can create a line, and we can use the edge of our sketch as axis. These are the different options that we've got. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, share, and so on. See you soon.